Ayan, good morning, Sir Angelo. Good
Good
morning po.
morning. Morning po
Ayan,
sa
good morning,
lahat.
Sir Jamby, Sir Angelo, 'no? Parang ang tagal nating hindi last nagsama-sama sa isang webinar, 'no? Lagi tayong magkakahiwalay. Ngayon lang ulit tayo lahat yata nagkita-kita sa isang webinar. Anyway, so yun, magandang morning po sa ating lahat, sa ating mga viewers, mga kaagapay, 'no? So magandang magandang morning po sa ating lahat. So, siguro Sir Jamby, mag-start na kaagad tayo with our introduction, 'no? Ano bang pag-uusapan natin ngayon? Ano bang meron for today?
Correct. Ayan. So una, sabi ni Sir Franco, it has been a while since nagsama-sama kaming tatlo. Bakit? Kasi nga, what we have in store for you this morning, mga kaagapay, is something big. Ayan. Something that we have been planning for, something that you have been clamoring for. So, sana po nakapaghanda kayo. Don't worry, we will try our very best to make it worth your while. Ang a-attendan po natin ngayong umaga is of course still part of our October series, which is on managing distance learning, ensuring sustainability and effectiveness. Yun nga lang, it is so major, the project today is so major that we needed extra time siguro para mas mapolish natin yung ihahandog namin sa inyo. Basically, ang makikita nyo po ngayong umaga ay resulta rin ng mga comments ninyo, mga sagot ninyo sa evaluation forms, what you really need, what you'd like to see na ihandog sa inyo ng kaagapay. So, while we have been presenting to you all the usual kaagapay webinars, the difference of this one is that it is subject specific. At ngayong umaga lang din po namin susubukin na magkaroon ng simultaneous webinars of sort. Ang title po ng ating activity this morning ay Retooling for Distance Learning, Subject-Specific Tools, Approaches, and Strategies for Distance Learning. We're very, very excited. Very, very nervous din. And we hope that you are just as excited. Ayan, hindi pa po natutulog si Sir Franco.
Yun, medyo kinulang sa tulog. Napaka-challenging ito, Sir Jamby, 'no? Sa totoo lang, I think first time talaga namin gagawin 'to. First time namin 'tong actually nung
Correct.
pinaplano namin 'to ni Sir Jamby, Sir Jello, medyo may hesitations ng konti kasi alam namin, the logistics will be challenging. And na-challenge nga kami talaga. Kita niyo naman teachers, 'no? It was meant to premiere on October 24. Pero November 7 na po ngayon. So,
Pati yung
fun to
poster na challenge.
yes, too bad with Sir Jamby, 'no, kasi may nangyari ng typhoon, et cetera. Pero,
Correct.
primarily one of the really reason there is talagang nahirapan kasi talagang i-put up yung logistics kaya looking for the speakers kasi, we'll be having 10 speakers, Sir Jamby, for today. Total 11 in one webinar. So, imagine diyan teachers, coordinating all of those things into one webinar, okay? Pero Sir Jamby 'no, Sir Jello, siguro, well, hindi naman sa disclaimer 'no na, sasabihin na kaagad natin na may mga mangyayaring, problema today. Pero, siguro, we're going to embrace the experience 'no. We're going to embrace this new format, this, challenge for all of us. Kasi medyo na-challenge talaga tayo sa mag-isip ng mga paraan para how to deliver this to our kaagapay, to our teachers. Okay? And hopefully they get something one or two no from this webinar that will run from here on until 12 noon this day. So yun.
Correct. Tama yung sinabi ni Sir Franco na siguro tanggap naman na ng lahat na things beyond our control will happen. Ganun naman ang tema ng ating school year this year, 'di ba? Pero ang mahalaga, ayan, amidst all the unexpected things that will happen, palagi tayong magkakasama, palagi tayong may kaagapay. Ayan. So,
Yes.
nabanggit ni Sir
Parang
Franco,
Sir
ah,
Javi, parang si Sir Jello medyo tahimik. Sir Jello, bati ka
kinakabahan
naman sa
si Sir Angelo.
Good morning,
Medyo
good
may
morning. Ayun nga,
kinakabahan sa'tin 'no?
oo. Siyempre, sabi nga ni Sir Franco at Sir Jamby, medyo challenging siya in logistic pa lang, in putting up how we will be able to give this subject specific. But sabi nga namin, this is something that we felt, and you yourselves po, yung mga kaagapay na kailangan ninyo. So talagang we push kahit hindi namin alam where we'll be going. But rest assured that we have prepared and tried our best to really give something that would be worth your time, sabi nga ni Sir Jambit, Sir Franco. So hopefully, you'll be enjoying, and I know we try our best to really give you the speakers, the best speakers, the guest speakers later para mas maibigay nung mga tools, approaches, and strategies para mas makatulong for distance learning.
Yes, indeed na, correct. Thank you, Sir Jello. Sir, Jambi, siguro we can run through with our schedule for this so that our teachers already know how what's going to happen for this morning.
Ayan, correct, correct. Ready na po tayo because yan, I'm sure napapansin ninyo we're starting earlier than usual today. Ayan, 8:30 po ay sumalang na agad ang ating live. We will be staying with you until 9:30. And mind you, dear kaagapay, that is just the first part of our activity this morning. So 8:30 po hanggang 9:30, that is the main session sa ano ba? Sa konteksto po ng usual face-to-face seminar, ito po yung plenary. Yung we begin with the plenary. Sama-sama tayong lahat. Isa lang yung pinapanood natin. Nandito kaming tatlo. And we of course have a guest for you, a very important guest for you. And then at 9:30 to 10 a.m., ayan, we'll give you a chance to navigate our KTS page. Kasi from 10 to 11 a.m., ito naman yung pagkakataon ninyong i-view yung mga inihandang videos ng ating mga napaka-generous with their time and expertise na teachers this morning. So, yung 10 to 11 po, these are recorded videos already. Mahanap nyo po sila sa isang playlist. Ang gagawin nyo na lang po, hanapin nyo whichever subject is most appropriate for you. Ayan. Pwede ba kayong manood ng ibang subject? Like, 'di ba, in the case of most of our teachers, dalawa, tatlo ang kanilang subject na tinuturo. Pwedeng-pwede naman po. Sir, paano kung gusto kong mapanood yung ibang mga videos? Huwag po kayong mag-alala. In true KTS fashion, all of these videos will be made available for you. Pwede kayong mag-team replay simula ngayon hanggang matapos ang taon. Panoorin niyo lahat ng mga pin-prepare na videos na yan. So 10 to 11, yan po yung viewing demonstration. Basically, our teachers will be sharing with you so far what they have been doing. Yan. Baka makapulot kayo ng mga ideas from what they have been doing so far this school year. And then, ito yung exciting part, the most challenging part siguro, I'm sure Sir Franco and Angelo will agree. Yung 11 to 12 p.m. po, the last hour of our activity this morning, we will give you the chance to actually interact with our speakers. So, later on, may ipapakita po kami sa inyo na links to various meetings. Iba-iba pa ata yan. May Zoom meeting, mayroong Google Meet. And you get to interact with the teachers whose video demonstrations, video sharings you viewed from 10 to 11. And when we say interact, pwede po kayong magsalita. Wag niyo lang po silang panoorin. Pwede po kayong magtanong. Kayo rin po pwede kayong mag-share. Kasi we made it clear to our guest teachers po na they're not present this morning to be the source of all information kasi sila mismo pwede silang matuto from your own experiences. So yun po ang in store for all of us mula ngayon hanggang 12. So it's like a 3.5 hour webinar times ilan yan? Times 10, times 11.
That's 11.
So
Times
very, very
11, times 11.
exciting. Ayan. Good luck po mga
Yes.
kaagapay. Kaya po
Talagang
yan.
yun. So, yun. So, thanks, Sir Jamie. No? So, again, some reminders lang. No? The main session is actually also our command center. So, this link, no, so where you're watching right now, whether you're watching in our group, where you're watching in our page, or in our YouTube channel, all of, ito pong pinapanood nyo ngayon is the command center. So, kapag meron po kayong problem or anything, nahirapan kayo mag-navigate, balik lang po kayo dito so you could ask the question and we will help you get to your for example viewing demonstration or your meet the speaker session. Okay, for the viewing demonstration, so it's all in YouTube. Okay, and it's a YouTube playlist. Okay, again I mentioned you just have to choose your subject. Sir Jambi, dun sa meet the speakers, as of now, lahat naka Zoom meeting.
Mm.
Okay, so please, no, for our kaagapay, make sure that we have a Zoom account or a Zoom app, okay, where we can meet the speakers later on. Anong pinaka-purpose nun, Sir Jambi? Kasi si viewing demonstration, dahil YouTube siya, recorded videos po ito. So, ibig sabihin, while you're viewing the demonstration, you'll not be able to interact with the speaker. Okay, so pag may mga question po kayo, please do take note of it. And then by 11 o'clock, you can now ask the speakers the questions you have for them. Okay? And lastly, Sir Jambi, syempre, lagi nang tinatanong ng ating mga kaagapay, no, where do they get the evaluation link? Yan. So, dito nyo po yun kukunin, teachers. Okay, babalik po kayo dito sa amin sa main session. We'll also be running, giving you some reminders about our November series, November activities, plus our December. Yes, exciting yung December natin. December activity, no? Activity talaga, hindi ko ginawang plural, no? Activity. And then, of course, after that, we'll be giving you your evaluation link. Okay, so yun na po yung kailangan nating gawin. And after that, of course, just like always, we'll be sending your certificates via your email in 5 to 7 days. Okay, so yun po. Sige yung mga important nating reminder. Siguro, Sir Jambi, any other reminders maybe for our audience, Sir Jello? Mukhang okay na, no?
Okay
Okay,
na, sir.
so we can now proceed now with our keynote address for today. So let me first introduce to all of you our keynote speaker, who generously shared his time, no, to provide us with sort of like a survey. Not really necessarily the survey of like asking questions, but it's a survey of what's going on in the ongoing distance learning. So where we are right now, okay, possibly where should we be heading for distance learning. Okay, so let me first introduce to you our keynote speaker for today. So our keynote speaker for today is Mr. Exxon Ryan Yu. He is the assistant principal for academics of junior high school at Xavier School. Okay, so basically, what Mr. Exxon Ryan Yu would be talking about, of course, definitely, as you would already know, the context would be our school, no, Xavier School. Okay, so much of the sharing will be contextualized in our experiences. Okay, but of course, Mr. X and Ryan, you also would attempt, no, to provide us with a more holistic view of what's going on in the current distance learning modality. So since all of us are now are in a distance learning modality, so what's going on? Okay, so are we doing it right? What are we doing wrong? Things like that, and some maybe suggestions on where to go or how to go there. Okay, so that's what we're going to see from Mr. Mr. Yu's talk for this morning. Okay, so I think we're ready, Sir Jambi and Sir Jello. So we'll give the floor now to Mr. Exxon Ryan Yu. Okay.
Good morning, dear teachers. It is an honor to be speaking in front of you today to share my experience as an educator and as someone who's coming from Xavier School. So just to introduce myself briefly, I am Exxon, and I'm currently the Junior High School Assistant Principal for Academics in Xavier School San Juan. And so, most of the experience that I will be sharing with you will be based on, of course, my experience in Xavier School and my exposure to Jesuit education. And so, regardless of the background that you're coming from, whether you're from the public school or from a different private school, I hope that my sharing today will give you some insights about education as a whole, and hopefully you can apply these to your experience as a teacher or as an administrator or a leader in your school. So let me begin. My sharing today is entitled Striving for Excellence During a Pandemic. Of course, the term excel here is because of the program that we have for Xavier School this school year. Before that, let me begin by sharing with you some questions that perhaps you can ask. Some of the things that maybe we are considering or thinking about right now are these questions. So, which do you think is the biggest problem among all of these? Perhaps a number of you are thinking that really students feel anxious and uncertain about the things that are happening. Also, parents are at a loss as to what exactly is their role given this online education. Sila ba ang magtuturo sa mga anak nila? Sila ba ang magtatrabaho at magtuturo? And at the same time, the teachers are also at a loss. What are we supposed to do when the students are at home? How do we teach them? Do we also play the role of parents? Or parents play the role of teachers? So in a sense, with this pandemic, a lot of the things that we were used to for the past how many years are really not applicable anymore. And so we find ourselves in a very, very different landscape of education. What to do, how to go about it. And so we thought, what are the important characteristics of online distance learning or online education? There are a lot of terms used for this. I will not spend time discussing the differences of these terms today. Rather, we just like to talk about what are some of the characteristics, at least from our perspective in Xavier School, the characteristics of online distance learning. And I'd like to share this with you by sharing with you some of the characteristics of Excel, Xavier School e-learning, as we call it, based on our reflection about education for the past how many years and about education in this context of a pandemic. We thought that these are the important characteristics of Excel or of online distance learning in the Xavier School context, and perhaps in the context that you might find yourselves in as well. We thought that first, education, online education should be structured, it should be flexible, it should be balanced, it should be safe and secure, it should be collaborative and supportive, and of course, relevant. So I will try to go through each one and provide some examples that we are doing in Xavier to help us understand what these characteristics mean. First, structured. It is very important to provide a predictable learning environment for our students that will provide them routines, a general schedule to follow, so that they will be able to focus and manage their tasks well. In Xavier High School, for instance, we have two types of blocks. We have a 100-minute learning block and a 50-minute learning block. Note that we, as much as possible, limit the synchronous sessions. Synchronous meaning that the students and the teachers are all together in one Zoom classroom where they conduct a lesson, an activity, or even an assessment. So as much as possible, we limit synchronous sessions. Why is that? We believe that synchronous sessions, if prolonged, will not be as engaging anymore. However, we cannot have very, very short classes and still hope to be productive. And so, if you look at the rest of the schedule, there's also a lot of time for students to work asynchronously, meaning the teacher prepares activities that will make the students learn the subject matter. Not necessarily with the teacher, but these activities will help the student or the students learn the subject matter. So structured. It is structured enough to know, for the students to know that they have a schedule to follow. So it's very important so that the students will have a routine and will be able to manage their. Next, flexible. Yes, it is structured, but it is also flexible enough to accommodate the context of the students and their families, especially in this pandemic. Not all students have the same context, not all families have the same context. And I'm sure that you also experience that with your students. Some families have better situations than others. Some students maybe have their own rooms and can therefore study more comfortably. Some students share rooms or spaces with other members of their family. And so all of these contexts need to be taken into consideration. That's why even as we determine a certain structure, we'd still like to make this online education flexible enough to accommodate the context of the students. And we see that mainly through some adjustments in the grading and the assessments that we provide. So they're a little bit simplified, not too rigorous, yet we still demand some rigor. We still demand standards from the students. For example, in Xavier, we normally have a letter grade system from A plus, A, B plus, B, C, D, and the failing mark of F. But given the context this year, we thought that it is important to simplify it so that students can really focus on the essentials. And the focus will be in moving forward, learning the best that they can, and move forward in this experience. And so from the 7 levels of the letter grades that we reduce them to 3 main levels with distinction, pass, and insufficient evidence, which is essentially the failing mark. So again, we still have a certain rigor that we are expecting of the students, and yet it's very accommodating of the situation that they have. The challenges in terms of internet, for example, in terms of managing their own time when the teachers are not there. So all of these contexts are taken into consideration. After all, we'd like to believe that the purpose of education is to help every child flourish, no matter what happens in life. Years down the line, we'd like them to think about these years, this year, for example, when COVID struck us, as a time when they did not just stop with education completely, but rather, despite the challenges, moved forward and hopefully even flourished. And that's why, even with the limited grading system that we have, we thought that it is still important to provide some incentives for the students. And therefore, we still came up with an award system. Again, much simpler than the usual awards, but nonetheless, something that will hopefully inspire students to be better, to still do their best, despite the context that they're in. The takeaway, we hope, that they will get or that they'll bring with them is that, yes, there are challenges that we're experiencing, but if we persevere, we still have a fighting chance. In fact, we can still excel. So we still have an award that we hope our students will still aim for. Next, balanced. We will not just focus on academics. In Xavier, particularly, we believe that formation activities still play an important role in this online setup. In fact, all the more, especially after these past how many months of implementing Excel, we realize that all the more formation activities are important. During formation activities, it seems to be that students are more lively. It seems to give life to our students and even to our teachers. When we had our online parties for Teachers Day in Xavier, we call it Appreciation Day, students and teachers were inspired. You may be familiar with our mooncake activity for Chinese Filipinos. We did it online. The parents were very involved and the students were excited. So these activities are still important. So we still made an effort to still have spiritual growth activities, some recollection, some reflection, and of course, health and fitness activities and recreation activities. We still offered clubs and committee work for the students to have an outlet. So they will not just focus on their academics, but also do something worthwhile, something that they like, something that inspires them, which is very important. Therefore, we also put in some guidelines in terms of homework and asynchronous activities. So we just differentiated between homework and asynchronous activity as asynchronous activities that those are the tasks that are assigned during the actual class period. And most of the time, they will be due at the end of each class. On the other hand, homework is given outside of school hours and usually due the next period or the next time they see each other. We also gave a reminder to everyone, especially our teachers, that when we assign homework, it is very important to consider the value of the homework, the length of time it takes to accomplish it, and the amount of homework that are given to our students. Why? Because once again, we want them to experience a balanced education. Not all homework, not all academics, but also to give them time to do other things, to enjoy, to be with their families now that they're all at home, to spend time with their families. So, balanced. After all, Jesuit education believes that the intellectual formation of students includes a growing ability to reason reflectively, logically, and critically. And most of this we will learn not just through our academic lessons, but through activities that we have outside of class. When they interact with others, when they have leadership opportunities, or even when they talk casually with friends or with teachers. So all of those help them to think reflectively, logically, and critically. Safe and secure. Online distance learning is very challenging as it is. And yet, there are other concerns that come up, such as data privacy and child protection, especially with a lot of exploitation that's happening nowadays. And so, us in Xavier School, we continue to do our best to ensure that students and the teachers are safe and secure in their online classes. Lately, you might have heard about the news of uh, Zoom bombers, people entering classrooms and disrupting the classes. And so we do our best to manage all of these. So we try to put in place certain protocols to ensure that the stakeholders, our students, our teachers, and of course, their families are safe and that they will not be compromised in this online setup. The use of technology is very important. And I found this quote very meaningful. Technology will never replace great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, it will be transformative. I think all of us right now, in whatever context we find ourselves in, have experience of have this experience of using technology in whatever form. whether it is the use of TV, technology, radios, or computers, Wi-Fi. So they're all forms of technology. And again, technology is not the one that teaches our students, it's still the teacher who designs everything. And so really the use of technology is dependent on our way or our managing of it and our use of it. So technology will not replace us, will not replace great teachers, but in fact can be our allies, can help us make our education or make education transformative for our students. For those of you who are using Zoom, there are a lot of tips nowadays as to how we can secure our Zoom room, and these are some examples. This can easily be researched online, but it's very important that these protocols are set in place so that our teachers and our students will feel safe and secure and therefore can focus on their learning and not worry about other people disrupting their classes or getting their information to use elsewhere. Next, collaborative and supportive. It's very important that this online education, online distance learning, is a collaborative effort between and among all the stakeholders of the school. So the school, the administration, the teachers, and the home, meaning the family, the parents, teachers and the students, students among students, teachers among teachers. It is very important that we work together and support each other. For younger students, for example, grade school, kindergarten, really adult supervision is very, very important. And that's why there's a lot of communication between the school and the home. For the older students, the support is among them as peers. So perhaps in the high school, our challenge is to come up with activities that will make them collaborate, interact with each other. After all, being locked up at home for how many months is taking a toll on their mental well-being. They need to be with other people, their friends, for example. So in our case, for example, in Xavier, we have a learning management system to help us manage our announcements, discussions. Some lecture sessions are also recorded for future reference or for cases where students may be absent. We also put our students as much as possible in clusters so that when we assign them group work or some discussion, they can interact with their friends and their classmates more freely. And of course, activities that will help provide peer support and engagement are maximized as much as possible. Aside from that, we set a deadline for 4 p.m. This is also something to do with structure. Remember the first one, structured, but at the same time, something supportive. So 4 p.m. is an important time for everyone. Basically, what it says is that all work as much as possible, schoolwork from the student's perspective, from the teacher's perspective, all stop at 4 o'clock so that they can all manage their time and do other things after 4. As I said, there are clubs and committees and still varsity uh, varsity teams that students are part of. So after 4, they can engage in all those meaningful activities. While teachers can also do other things. Relax, rest, spend time with family, prepare house chores, etc. And given these opportunities, given this challenge of the online setup, at the same time, we're provided a lot of opportunities for cooperation, creative solutions, and willingness to learn from others. Because educators, parents, and students are sharing a similar experience. This is what binds us all together, regardless of the context that we have ourselves in. Somehow, what puts us all together is this common experience of the pandemic and being stuck somehow with what we have. So we know some have it better than others. That's a fact. But at least the common thing among us is that we are all experiencing something similar and at the same time. In fact, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. And so the last one, relevant. And I think this is something very, very important. What then do we teach given the limited time that we have? How do we manage that? In Xavier, we spent a lot of time decongesting the curriculum so that we will be able to address the 21st century skills more than specific knowledge and skills or just knowledge. We'd like to focus more on important skills that students can bring with them even after the school year or the years to come. And so something to give us some inspiration, I'd like us to watch this short clip about from Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's a very known doctor and played an important role in the COVID response of the United States of America. You might be familiar with him. He gave a speech to a Jesuit school in the US just very recently, and talked about what is it that's important for the students to learn, to focus on, especially during this time of a global pandemic. So let's listen to this.
Warm greetings to you all from Bethesda, Maryland. My name is Tony Fauci, and I am Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. Although I am unable to be with you in person today, I am delighted to have this opportunity to congratulate the outstanding graduates in the high school class of 2020. Currently, our lives have been upended by a truly historic global pandemic. I am profoundly aware that graduating during this time and virtually without your friends, classmates, and teachers close by is extremely difficult. However, please hang in there. We need you to be smart, strong, and resilient. With discipline and empathy, we will all get through this together. I had the good fortune to graduate from Regis High School in 1958. I often say it was the best educational experience I could have imagined. I became immersed in the intellectual rigor of the Jesuit education. Importantly, certain tenets of the Jesuit tradition have sustained me throughout my life and career. Two of these, precision of thought and economy of expression, inform how I think, how I write, and how I communicate with the public every day, especially during the present unsettling times. Just as important, however, is the Jesuit emphasis on social justice and service to others. And now is the time, if ever there was one, for us to care selflessly about one another. And so congratulations on your graduation. Stay safe and be well as you celebrate this important milestone of your life. I wish you all the best in the years ahead.
So if you notice, if you listen to it, he did not talk about specific things that you should learn, a specific math problem or a specific concept in science. Rather, he focused a lot on what is it that we need to know to be a person, to be a good citizen, to be a good Christian, to be a good Catholic. Borrowing words from the president of Seattle University, another Jesuit institution, he said that it's very important during this time to make our curriculum relevant. It's very important to help our students understand why they're learning certain things. He believes that the why of promoting this common good. Why are we doing all of this? Why are we learning all of this? Because we are doing it to help society. He says that if we can deepen this understanding of knowing that we're doing this for the common good, we can adopt it as a value applicable to so many other dimensions in life. So our responsibility now as educators is not just limited to teaching our specific subjects, but rather to help our students learn the values that accompany these subjects. And these are the ones that they will bring with them after we teach them the school year or the year after. One important characteristic of Jesuit education is imagination and creativity. And this aligns very well with the 21st century skills that we need to develop in our students. I very like it very much when uh, Father Sandberg put it this way. In Jesuit education, the intellect should be guided, expanded, and enhanced by imagination. And he says we are not just about knowing, but about effective knowing. So it's not just about specific lessons, specific topics, but in his terms, he says the aim of education, I'd like to believe, not just Jesuit education, is to know lovingly and love knowingly. It's quite beautiful that way. So that when we know and when we do something, when we learn something, it's not just because we want to know it, but we know it because we have a certain purpose why we need to know that. So given that we're living in a time of crisis now, I think this is also an opportunity for us to step beyond our classroom. As teachers, it is our opportunity to just go beyond the lessons that we teach and help our students know that there's really a lot beyond it. I think they're seeing that now when they see the news, when they look at the context that they're all part of. And if we do that right, according to Father Sandborg, if we do that right, they will actually remember the lessons that we're teaching them now more than ever. That story in English that is in the context of this problem that we have right now might stick with them. That science experiment that they're doing in the context of this situation that we have might stick to them, might be with them even as they grow old. So what is it that we need to teach? I think the challenge now is not just to focus on knowledge and skills. We're not saying it's not important. In fact, it is important. But I think the important challenge for us is to make it relevant to our students. How do we make our teaching relevant to them? So that they will know and they will feel that, yes, I'm learning this and I have a purpose to step beyond what I'm experiencing right now to help others and to make the world a better place, given all these challenges that we're experiencing. And so, what of us teachers? It is a very, very challenging task. It's a very, very difficult task that we all find ourselves in. E paano naman tayo? So, I think we also need to stop and pause for a while and pat ourselves on the back and say, we've been doing a good job. We've been doing everything that we can. Mahirap, nahirapan tayo. It was very challenging. It is very challenging. And I'm sure we will have encounter a lot more challenges. But there's a lot to be thankful for also. And so, dear teachers, on behalf of our students, I'd like to also thank you for all the things that you've done. And I got this short clip from YouTube. It's actually, I think, produced in India. Um, but I think the message resonates a lot to us. So let's just watch this short clip of thanking our teachers, thanking us for all that we are doing for us. Thank you indeed, dear teachers, to us, to all of you especially, for all that we have been doing, you have been doing for our students. As I said, it might have been produced for a certain context, but I think the message is universal. It is a thank you to teachers who are possibly frontliners also in this fight against COVID, against this pandemic. So thank you very much for spending some time to listen to me this morning. I hope that you were able to get something and to learn something from this as well. Thank you. Keep safe and God bless us all.
Ayan. Hi, Sir Angelo.
Hello. Hello.
Ayan. Ayun, kala ko. Missing in action si Sir Franco.
Ayun, Sir Jamie, Sir Jello. Siguro ano lang, insights, kasi pinag-usapan ni Sir Exxon would be, like sort of like a survey, no? What's going on and what are the challenges, etc. So, on your own personal experiences, insights, Sir Jello, Sir Jambi, where are we right now? Are we doing good in distance learning? Or are there things that we have to consider or reconsider in doing distance learning?
Sige, ako na
Siguro
muna.
Sir sige, Sir Jambi muna. Okay.
Nauna lang magsalita. Ayan. Sige, ako, I especially like how Sir Exxon reminded us about focusing on values. Ayan. And I'd like to reiterate po na hindi ito hindi ito just because we're doing distance learning now. Actually, kahit naman hindi tayo nagde-distance learning, kahit di tayo nag-online learning, kahit pa come Monday, bumalik na tayo sa classroom, we have to be reminded na while we, of course, would like to be able to teach all the competencies, all the content, palaging babalik at babalik tayo dun sa values. Okay? Una, tanggapin na natin, hindi naman talaga natin maibibigay sa mga mag-aaral natin lahat ng kailangan nilang matuto sa mundo. 'Di ba? Kahit naman tayo, hindi rin naman natin alam, hindi rin naman natin natutunan lahat ng kailangan nating matutunan. Instead, okay? And I'm sure teachers will agree. I'm sure teachers maalala nila, oo nga no, my best teacher or the best teachers that I had growing up ay yung developed in me thirst for knowledge, developed in me love for learning. So halimbawa kayo na lang yung mga kasama nating kaagapay ngayon. Your mere presence here, your attendance, number one, shows your humility na hindi nyo alam lahat. 'Di ba? At marami pa kayong kailangang matutunan. So, ganun din naman yung mga mag-aaral natin, bigyan lang natin sila ng venue to learn from you, from each other, ng venue to develop love for learning, and turuan natin sila how to look for it, how to be critical about it, etc. And you'd be surprised, baka matapos yung taon, lahat ng target mo, kahit hindi mo explicitly sinabi sa kanila or explicitly tinuro sa kanila, matututunan at matututunan din nila.
Agree, Sir, Sir Jambi. Yes, Sir Jello.
Naman.
Parang may
I
speech
also,
Sir Jello dito.
hindi na. Hindi kasi, Sir Franco, Sir Jambi, as I was listening to Sir Exxon, parang nare-remind ako nung unang-una nating nung pagbukas ng Savior sa new school year na ito, parang lahat ay nangangapa, lahat ay challenge, parang bumabalik sa akin lahat nung experience na yon, and how we were challenged to embrace this change. Kasi nga, hindi siya madali. Sabi nga, I was reading one of the comments. Yes, part of part of change is may resistance, may hesitation. Kasama yun eh. Talagang kasama yun. And even in Savior, may mga ganong mga areas na syempre, even personal, syempre, meron ka ng set of rules or set of ways of doing things. And then all of a sudden, sabi nga, di ba, ni Sir Exxon, you have to let go of those kasi hindi na yun yung konteksto. So, I agree with Sir Jambi so much nung values. I wrote here nung isang term nung ni Sir Exxon, affective knowing. Yon, parang it's a good time for us to remind that our students na hindi lang nung lessons natin yung mahalaga, pero nung values na matututunan na rin nila. And I also agree no na habang nagsasabi Sir Jambi, naalala ko nung mga teachers na naalala ko talaga yung mga teachers na hindi naman nung lesson per se yung ano, pero nung how they were able to relate and to connect with me. Yun yung mga naalala kong mga teachers. And in addition to that, siguro Sir Franco and Sir Jambi, I would also like to focus on the relevance. Kasi minsan yun yung isa sa mga challenging when we teach, 'di ba? We want to cover everything. May mga certain things na tayo kailangan i-cover na competence and everything. But isang magandang bagay is to anchor it siguro, sabi nga ni Sir Exxon, is to anchor it in relevance. How relevant it is to our students. And I notice it maski doon sa aming mga teaching sa CLE, we try to look into the context, the current context, kung nangyayari sa kanila. At nung ginawa namin yon, mas naging relevant sa kanila yung tinuturo namin. And even going to look into nung context rin nila, ano ba nung ginagawa nila, it's a good way, parang it's a paradigm shift na hindi lang nakafocus dun sa content, but ano nung relevance nung content in this particular situation. So, isa yun sa mga bagay na gusto kong reiterate dun sa sinabi ni Sir Exxon kanina sa kanyang keynote.
Thank you, maraming salamat Sir Jello, no. Nakita ang ganda ng mga comments ng mga teachers natin, no. If you're reading the comment section, okay, they're also sharing their thoughts, ideas. Kasi ako naman, no, Sir, yung na-mention ni Sir Jambi tsaka ni Sir Jello, ako naman ang pinakatumatak sa akin kanina sa talk ni Sir Exxon, yung idea ng yes, difficult yung situation natin. Yes, mahirap yung pinagdadaanan natin, pero it also provide us with a very unique opportunity, no? Well, we don't want another pandemic, no? Pero it's sort of like this pandemic is a catalyst, no, for a lot of changes, lalo na sa education. And lagi namin pag-usapan din ni Sir Jambi dito sa bahay kasi katabi lang naman kami. Na actually, yung mga pinagdadaan natin ngayon is actually a fast track, no, 21st century setup. Okay, so yung lahat ng mga ginagawa natin is essentially what is 21st century learning. So basically, nangyari is that pandemic, okay, forced us or pressured us to fast track to approach that 21st century learning setup. So medyo minadali natin because of the pandemic, no. Pero doon din talaga tayo papunta, no, yung klase ng setup natin for education. Lalo na yung na-mention ni Sir Jambi kanina, yung mga values, yung mga tinatawag nating soft skills, no. Not soft because it's weak, because it's abstract, pero very strong yung relevance niya sa 21st century learning. Kasi nga hindi na talaga wala na yung premium sa amount of knowledge that you possess, no. Kasi you can't compete with a computer that stores more information than you. It's really more about teaching our students how to use the information they're getting. Okay? Kaya yun talaga yung nakita ko kanina, no, this pandemic gives us this much opportunity to learn. Okay? So although we're looking forward na matapos na to, yes, pinagdadasal po nating lahat yan na matapos na itong pandemic na to. Pero let's all live at the moment. Let's embrace the changes. Let's look for opportunities to grow, because at the end of this pandemic, if we do that, we'll become a much better teacher and educator than we envision ourselves to be. So sana po embrace natin itong situation natin with so much humility and willingness and enthusiasm. Okay. So yan, so maraming salamat, no. Sir Jambi and Sir Jello, siguro pwede tayo mag-proceed with our second part. Sir Jambi, ano bang ating second part of our webinar for today?
Ayan, tulad po ng binabanggit ko kanina, ang pangalawang part po ng ating grand activity this morning ay yung pagkakataon po for all of you, our dear kaagapay, to view the prepared videos of our teacher guests. Ayan. Pero ano naman, I think we're giving them until 11, no, Sir Franco,
Yes.
to view these. That should be more than enough for you to view at least one video na kompleto with the CR break, and pwede naman kayong kumain habang
Habang
nanonood. And again,
home viewing naman yun.
tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, don't worry, because if you want to be able to watch also all of the other videos, readily available naman po yan. Hindi naman po natin yan buburahin. Gaya po ng lahat ng videos ng Kaagapay, readily available naman po yan sa ating Facebook page. Readily available din po yan anytime sa YouTube channel. And in fact, hindi nyo nga kailangang i-like yung ano, 'di ba? Hindi nyo kailangang i-like yung Kaagapay teacher support page to be able to watch the videos.
Yes, oo.
Ah, bakit ka ba magla-like? Kasi ano, you want to be
Updated.
updated.
Yes,
Ayan.
yan.
So,
Updates. So
halimbawa,
again,
after every webinar, the only reason why we ask for your email is because we need to be able to send you your
certificates.
certificate. Ayan, kung
Yeah.
ayaw nyo naman po, pwede namang hindi. So, ano lang
Yes.
po, the MIL teacher in me is asking you, please be very, very careful. Ayan, kasi available naman po ito free without the danger of you having to input your details, your information. Yeah.
Yes. Guys, siguro Sir Jello, may we for short introduction lang, no, para lang ma-run through natin sino ba yung mga mami-meet ng mga teachers natin for today. Tsaka ano yung mga subjects na mako-cover natin today, because yun yung siguro disclaimer natin, no, hindi lahat comprehensively covered.
Yeah.
So we'll have to also adjust accordingly. Okay, so go Sir Jello.
Sige, yan. So, tulad nga ng sinabi ni Sir Franco, we really tried our best to look for the speakers for each subject. And hopefully, itong mga pool ng ating speakers, guest speakers, will really enlighten us with the different subjects. So, some subjects lang po, just again, disclaimer, some subjects have elementary and high school. So, pwede po kayong pamili kung ano na mas ano. But generally, we try our best to really cover all subjects that we can. So, kung hindi naman po, you can still choose any of the subject that you are teaching, especially kung kayo ay nagtuturo ng 2 to 3 subjects per level. So, for science po, we have Miss Jane Peras. Siya po ay isang senior high school teacher in Xavier School. And then for English, Miss Nika Santos, also from Xavier School. Yan. Sa Filipino po, si Binibining Rhea Galinito. For MAPE, si Miss Josel Salvador, I think focusing on arts. And then si Mr. Peter Uyenko, sa PE naman po siya. For mathematics, we have Miss Jaja Castillo. For CLE, Values Education and Education sa Pagpapakatao. For elementary, we have Mr. Noel Banawis. And for high school, we have Mr. Lance Torres. And then for social science or Araling Panlipunan, for high school, we have Mr. RJ Maramag. And for grade school, Miss Rhoda Morales Santos. And then for TLE, we have Miss Shelo Carlos.
So yun, no, Sir, tama Sir Jello, no, yun yung siguro disclaimer natin, no. We tried our best to get as many speakers as we can. Kaya na syempre logistics-wise, some of our limitations, we were not able to get all of the representations, no. So teachers, no, please just do maybe of the demonstrations available for you today. Kapag hindi sobrang applicable, you may want to view some other subjects. I think you'll learn definitely principles of teaching in general, no, not just in a very subject specific. Although again, our speakers for today are really speaking from their experiences for in teaching their subject areas. Okay, so siguro Sir Jambi, Sir Jello, we can now send them to the playlist, no? And go ahead, Sir Jambi, to for some reminders.
Ayan. So, we're on to part 2 na po. Hanggang 11 o'clock, you have that time to view our subject-specific demonstrations slash sharing. Pwede po kayong pumunta sa https colon double backslash bit.ly slash retooling demo. Ayan. Number 1, access YouTube playlist using the link above. 2, choose the subject area you wish to watch. Ayan. Kung sakasakali lang po na you are unable to find your specific subject, gaya ng sabi ni Sir Franco, sige lang po. You'd be surprised, baka marami kayong matutunan sa ibang subjects. Baka ma-realize nyo, oh, pwede pala kaming mag-integrate with them. Number 3, after watching, wait for the Zoom links or Google Meeting links for the Meet the Speaker part. Yung part po na yun yung ating 11 to 12 session in our Kaagapay Teacher Support page. So when in doubt po, palagi lang kayong pupunta sa Kaagapay Teacher Support page. All the links will be made available for you there. Or kung talagang naliligaw tayo, the headquarters, yung ating main video will be there to support you. Yeah.
And sabi nga ni Sir Jambi, no, balik lang po kayo sa either sa Facebook page or dito. Ito po ang ating command center, no. So, nandito lang po kami to answer your questions. You can send us a live chat via Facebook or via YouTube, our YouTube channel. So it will help you navigate, no, to your to this part, no, 10 to 11, the viewing demonstration. So, Sir Jambi, Sir Jello, I think we can now leave or send our audience now to the YouTube playlist. Okay, so thank you, teachers. Good luck and enjoy your viewing time with the demonstrations from the subject-specific areas. Sir Jambi. Yan, magandang morning. Welcome back to our all our viewers, no. Malamang yung mga viewers natin are right now nasa YouTube pa or yung iba naghihintay na ng meeting link na. So
Correct, correct.
while teachers will be sending you to your session with the speakers, so you'll be able to answer some questions. No? And of course, discussion. No? Sir Jumpy, meron ba tayong mga konting reminders for them on how they should proceed no, to the meet the speaker session?
Sige, reminders. Okay. So tulad po ng binabanggit namin, since this morning, the third and last part of our major activity for today is your chance to, well, not just meet, but actually interact with our speakers. So wag po kayo mahiya na mag-share ng inyong own experiences sa sarili rin ninyong mga konteksto kasi magkakaagapay naman po tayong lahat dito. Mind you, if may mapulot kayo from our teacher guests, sila rin po definitely meron din silang mapupulot from your own context. So, mayroon po tayong mga links na
Yes.
nakapost sa KTS page. Tama po ba yun, Sir
Pa-post
Franco?
pa lang Sir Jamie, pa-post pa lang natin. Pero
Ayan,
tama si
ipopost
Sir
ko ni
Jamie,
Sir
no,
Franco.
reminder po no na it's not like a one-way meeting. So the speakers will not be just extending her or his talk about his subject. It's more of like really a discussion. So like what Sir Jambi said, no, please do indulge nyo. Share your experiences kasi definitely, no, marami tayo Sir Jambis, definitely marami tayong mga teachers. Mas rich pa yung experience
Correct.
compared to others, no, compared to us, no, lalo na sa atin. So please do provide your own experiences. So we do invite you to also share, no, during the conversation. So it's more of really like a conversation. Sorry.
Alam mo nga, Sir
Okay.
Franco, I was talking to one of our teacher guests earlier. Sabi ko, ang isa sa mga gusto sana nating ma-achieve after ng ating session for today ay maka-identify tayo pa ng mga kaagapay natin na, uy, okay to si sir, okay to si ma'am. Very rich yung experience niya. The other members of Kaagapay would benefit from him or her. So invite natin yung Kaagapay natin na yun. And maybe we can have a part 2 of this session. This time, from actual naman na mga Kaagapay attendees yung
Totoo.
mag-share, di ba?
Yes. Actually, Sir Jamie, no, gagawin talaga natin yan. Ito matagal nang
Hindi
in-express
na
ni
tayo
Sir
natuto
Jamie. No?
talaga. Na.
Yes, lagi pag may mga webinar kami, lagi nire-remind ni Sir Jambi to, no? Kasi talagang isa to sa mga desires, no? Actually, si Sir Jambi, isa sa mga pinaka talagang nagpo-push itong idea to. Although, of course, I support, no? Strongly support. Pero si Sir Jambi talaga yung may strong desire. And I see the value talaga, no? Na parang yun yung sinasabi lagi ni Sir Jambi, it's like a full circle, no? We've trained you, we've imparted knowledge to you. Now it's time for you to also give back to the community, to be an actual kaagapay. So sila naman yung aagapay sa ibang teachers, no? So siguro Sir Jambi will post some materials, publications in our page on how you can apply, no, to become a speaker in KTS. Okay, so we'll be opening up. And also siguro Sir Jambi, ano rin to, no, opportunity. Kasi feeling ko marami tayong mga sobrang magagaling na teachers. Kaya lang wala
Correct.
silang platform to actually show. So i-offer natin si KTS, si Kaagapay Teacher Support Page, yung YouTube channel natin, yung Facebook group natin to become their platforms. And hopefully, kung meron silang for example mga sariling YouTube channel o kaya binubuong Facebook page, then we'll support them, no. Will let the world, no, our teachers see what they have. Kasi sometimes yun yung nawawala, no, ang galing pero hindi lang nabibigyan ng chance to show. So we'll give them a platform. Thank you Sir
Pati yung
Jambi
ano,
for this
Sir Franco,
brilliant idea.
pati yung una yung paggamit ng StreamYard. Tayo nga 'di ba? has taken us months bago natin ma-try na i-master yung, and even now natututo pa rin tayo, marami pa rin tayong mga maliliit na bagay. So, wag niyo pong hayaan na ay hindi pa ako marunong mag-StreamYard. Saka na ako magse-share ng mga ano ko, ng mga experiences ko and expertise ko. Kontakin niyo po kami. We will help you out. We'll even help you manage the StreamYard habang kayo ay nag-aano. Gusto lang po talaga namin na ano tayo, mag-share tayo ng mga ano natin, ng mga
Kasi feeling
nalalaman.
ko feeling ko Sir Jambi minsan yung mga teachers natin nahihiya na humingi ng like, one-on-one, tutorial 'no, yung talagang lalapitan tayo. Naku teachers 'no, si Sir Jambi tsaka ako, actually we do one-on-one may mga tumatawag sa'min, may mga kumo-contact sa'min and we really spend time 'no. Siyempre ano, it also depends 'no, yung siyempre oras din pero, we rarely 'no, parang hindi pa naman tayo nagno-no Sir Jambi 'no. Parang it has always been a yes. So pag basta may oras, may kayang ma-schedule namin, will help you out no para you can grow your contents, you can show off to the world ano yung pwede mong i-share lalo na ngayon Sir Jambi no sa experiences natin na sobrang daming bago. Sobrang halaga nung sharing of experiences kasi it sort of like fast track din yung understanding certain situations no, lalo na sa online distance learning or sa distance learning. Well, by the way, Sir Jambi, inform ko lang ating mga audience, naka-post na po. Ito na po. So, ito na po yung link, no? Ito yung master list ng mga links namin. Plus, naka-post na rin po yung master link at saka individual links sa ating Facebook page. Okay, so pwede na po
Ayan.
kayong punta. Reminder lang no sa ating mga um, viewers, pag nagkaroon sila ng kasi sir mga ano lang mga links lang yung provide natin, wala yung passcode. And sometimes it would require them to enter the passcode. If that happens, teachers, punta po kayo dun sa master list kasi nandun po yung passcode where you can
Correct.
use it to enter your Zoom links. Okay, so hopefully po, you'll enjoy your discussion.
At
So,
kung
sir,
halimbawa naman po na wala kayong masamahan na discussion, pwede niyo naman po kaming samahan ni Sir Franco. Nandito lang po kami to
yes.
provide you ano ba, information and entertainment hanggang
Yeah.
12 noon. At wag po ninyong kalimutan na bumalik dito after
Yeah.
ng inyong session with the speakers.
Yes, nagbigay din ako ng reminder sa Facebook page natin no, na kailangan nilang bumalik because the evaluation link will be given here, not by the speakers, no. So babalik po sila dito. And also, Sir Jambi, na mag-update tayo. So we have lots of things. Ito kasing end ng ating October series kasi na-push tayo ng sobra. So magsa-start pa lang talaga ang ating November activities by next week, no. Although actually nag-start tayo last time yung with Canva. So it's actually our first
Nag-overlap si
event.
November tsaka si October.
Nag-overlap na eh. Yes. So sobrang dami kasi ng ano natin, ng activities natin.
Ay, at saka
Yun.
Sir Franco, gusto ko rin i-share sa kanila syempre yung ating very exciting activity for December.
Kaya papalakas ko muna.
Yeah.
Kasi excited din ako dyan eh. Yes. Sobrang teachers no, sobrang pinaghahanda namin yung December activity na yan. So abangan po nating lahat. Hopefully we surprise you. Hopefully we bring joy to you, lalo na sa Christmas season natin. So yun, siguro Sir Jambi, baka pwede natin gawin, baka pwede tayong mag either shout out or pwede tayong mag entertain ng mga questions. Baka may mga questions yung mga
Oo nga po.
teachers natin.
May tanong kayo.
Lalo na yung mga hindi naka-attend ng mga, kasi may mga subjects na hindi na-cover. Like for example, mother tongue. Baka meron kayong mga, although hindi namin masasagot definitely no, yung specifically sa mother tongue. Kasi mo kaming tanongin kasi syempre expertise namin ibang subjects din, no? Pero baka meron kami ma-share. Meron kayong mga general questions or anything, comments, na pwede na gusto niyo pong express, no? Please do let us know.
Correct.
And actually, sabi, ang dami na yung yung mga pinapanood ng mga teachers natin. Talagang dalawa-dalawang subject. May nanonood ng math, and arts. Okay? Hindi lang isang and again, sabi nga ni Sir Jambi, gusto ko pong i-remind, gusto ko pong i-reiterate yung sinabi ni Sir Jambi kanina. ang atin pong webinars ay free for access. So, pwede nyo po itong balikan sa ating page, pwede nyo po itong balikan sa ating YouTube channel, sa Facebook group. Wala po kayong kailangang i-sign up, bayaran, information na kailangang ibigay. No? Please be aware, no, teachers. No? Sir Jambi, as us, we have always committed, no, we never ask anything in return. Okay, so please avoid yung mga complicated na mayroon pa mga sign-ups, etc. Okay? Yun. And then of course, sabi ni Sir Javi nga kanina, pwede nyo pong balikan itong mga demo videos ito. We'll be making this public after the webinar para po lahat will be able to watch it. Kung gusto nyo pong mag-binge watching, no, Sir Jambi, good enough for one day of binge
Parang ano
watching.
lang, parang K-drama lang.
Yes, oo, habang diba, nag-chill ka lang, no? Kasi ako, Sir Jambi, na ano ko naman, ang tingin ko naman kasi dito, kahit very subject specific, no, meron ka kasi mga nuances, naman, not nuances, pero mga general principles that applies to all other subjects, no, how they conduct their subjects, lalo na sa distance learning. So, baka they can pick up, no, one or two mga tools na, kasi mga tools naman, Sir Jamie, for example, hindi naman yan, pwedeng sa math lang, but you might find a way to apply it in your subject, like in science, in social
Correct.
science.
Alam nyo, actually, Sir Franco, dun sa school po namin, may ganong activity na ginagawa. Ang term natin ay interdepartmental. So, you have English teachers getting to observe the classes of, say, the math teachers and vice versa. Kasi tama yung sinabi ni Sir Franco, it will help you become better at what you do pag nalaman mo how the other teachers, how the other subjects do it. Kunyari, the whole time ina-assume mo lang yung for example, if you're a math teacher, tapos you can't quite understand kung bakit magaling yung mga students mo pagka nagsasolve, and yet pagdating ng problem solving, nahirapan sila. So, baka kasi it's a comprehension thing. Diba? So, pag nanood ka ng English teacher, okay, ganun pala dapat yung approach. Okay, ganun pala dapat yung pagturo ko nung lesson na yun. And you'd be surprised because of integration, sobrang mas maraming matututunan yung mga estudyante natin.
Yun, tama-tama, no, Sir Jambi, no? Yung tinatawag nilang interdisciplinarity ng mga subjects. Napakahalaga po niyan sa 21st century learning. Hindi na po tayo pwede nag-exist lang, no? Yung skills ng isang bata traverse across different disciplines, no? So again, sabi nga ni Sir Jambi, no, lalo yung sa English or sa communication, napakahalaga niyan po sa ibang subject. For example, sa amin, sa social science, pag nagpapasulat kami ng essay, pag hindi marunong mag-construct properly yung bata, hindi niya ma-convey yung kanyang knowledge, no, kahit gaano kagaling yung student. Okay? So tama na, napakahalaga nung cooperation, collaboration, Sir Jambi, ng mga different subjects. Okay?
Sir Franco, meron pala tayong mga well, nabanggit mo to kanina during our dun sa GC natin, pero yun, we feel for our mga kaagapay na kasalukuyan pa ring walang signal o kaya walang electricity power sa kanilang mga lugar. Wag po kayong mag-alala, tulad ng pangako namin ni Sir Franco, pwede maging team replay, at pati yung nagti-team replay, makaka-receive pa rin po kayo ng ng certificate for as long as you just answer the evaluation. Pero nakita ko kasi yung comment ni Sir Jeffrey, kung kailangan po magtipid ng data or ng battery kasi di natin alam, baka may mga emergency cases, pwede po kayong mag-team replay ng ating mga webinars. Di lang po ito, lahat po ng ibang webinars natin in the past. Ayan. So, habang busy po si Sir Franco, Gusto ko po munang i-grab itong opportunity na 'to na magpasalamat po sa mga kaagapay natin. Last Friday baka po nabigla kayo, may shinare si Sir Franco na, parang benefit concert do'n sa ating, KTS page. I was involved in that benefit concert, yung survival mode po. Maraming salamat po sa mga nakapanood. Kung hindi niyo pa po napanood, puwede niyo pa rin pong panoorin. Kung saka-sakali po na nakapag-donate kayo, maraming salamat. Pero hindi niyo naman po kailangan mag-donate, okey? To a certain extent, sapat na sa akin yung during these trying times, nakapaghatid po kami ng good vibes, good music. So, maraming salamat po. We'll have another one in December. Sana makasama rin po kayo namin sa December. And don't worry, we made sure na hindi siya magiging conflict sa kung anumang activity meron ang kaagapay. Tapos, yun,
Yes.
alam niyo po yung concert na yun, iko-connect ko lang doon sa sinabi ni Sir Franco kanina na wag po kayo mahiya na magtanong sa amin kung halimbawang may need kayo for a platform, may need kayo to be able to share. Kasi yun pong concert na yun, kinontak lang ako, Sir Franco. Tinanong lang ako, Sir, paano mo ba ginagawa yung ano, paano mo ba ginagawa yung online show? Paano mo ba ginagawa yung ganyan? And ano, dahil kaya naman, dahil wala naman conflict sa schedule ko, I very readily offered my services. Lahat po kami ng artists na nag-participate doon, libre po, and I'd like to think it was successful naman po. So, wag po kayo mahiya. Si Sir Franco, I personally know him. Ano yan,
Yes, Sir John.
99% of the time, hindi po yan nagno-no.
Mahirap lang talaga mag-no sa mga teachers natin kasi actually pag titingnan ko Sir Javi, napaka-valid kasi ng mga concerns nila lagi. Parang bihirang-bihira naman ako makakita ng mga concerns na we can ignore, no. So as much as possible, we become we become a venue, we become a group or an organization that assist in any way that we can. No, but teachers, no, nakikita ko sobrang dami pa natin dito sa ano. Baka again, teachers, pwede na po kayo mag-proceed. Actually, naghihintay na po ang
Baka
mga
nag-e-enjoy
speakers
kayo.
natin. Yes, naghihintay na po yung mga speakers natin sa kanilang mga Zoom rooms, no? So please, if you are available now, you can leave this main session and you can go now to your Zoom room and visit your speakers para po you can join the discussion, ask questions to your speakers, etc. No? So nandun po sila, Sir John B. Nandun na.
Oo.
Actually, nagbe-message na sa akin
I
yung mga
I know
speakers.
for a fact, Sir Franco, kasi dito po sa bandang kanan ko,
Yeah.
ongoing po yung, ano ba, meet the speakers ng Social Science and Araling Panlipunan.
Yes.
Yan.
So nandun na, nag-uusap na. So yung
O,
teachers,
tira.
pasok na po.
Sige po, parang nawala saglit ang audio ni Sir Franco. While we enjoy your spending time with us, baka po marami po kayong mapupulot doon sa ating teacher guests. Pero really, if wala doon yung subject ninyo or halimbawa pang elementary kayo and yet high school yung ino-offer, sige lang po, you can always join us. Maraming salamat po. Shout out to everyone who has been with us, hindi lang po sa webinar na ito, pati dun sa mga previous webinars namin. I'd like to take this opportunity lang to respond to the concern of one of our attendees. Sabi niya, I forgot po if naka-register ako. Ayan, it has been a long time po since we required registration in our webinar. So, wala pong registration. Tapos sabi niya, where po kami sasagot ng evaluation? Yan po. Pag bumalik kayo dito later, after ng ating Meet the Speakers session, pag bumalik kayo dito, sa amin po mismo manggagaling yung evaluation links. And immediately thereafter, the evaluation links will also be made available sa ating Kaagapay Teacher Support page. Ayan. Bumalik na kaya yung audio ni Sir Franco? Wala pa rin, Sir Franco. Ayan. Baka po nagtataka kayo, bakit kaya naririnig ni Sir Jambi si Sir Franco kung wala nga siyang audio? Literal po na nandito lang siya sa likod ko, si Sir Franco. So, kaya alam ko na nagsasalita siya and yet wala pong pumapalo sa ating stream. So maraming salamat po. Shout out po sa mga teachers natin. Ayan, we have partners watching from St. Mary's University, Bayumbong, Nueva Vizcaya. We also have partners from Zamboanga City. Ayan, si Sister. Ayan, Sister.
Hi, Sir
Maraming salamat
Jambi.
po for joining us. Yes, you're back, Sir Franco. Pa ba? Alam mo, Sir Franco, natuwa ako dun sa isang comment kanina. Sabi niya, ang plano daw niya is to actually watch 3 na video demos, 3 na sharing. Nako, yan po talaga yung gusto naming mangyari, that you are able to watch more than just one video. Pero wag po kayo tumigil sa 3. Kung may time kayo, panoorin nyo lahat. Kasi may tiwala po kami doon sa mga in-invite namin na speakers at marami po kayong matututunan sa kanila. At marami po rin silang matututunan sa inyo, especially if you join the Meet the Speakers session. Kaya po, sali po kayo doon sa kanila. You don't need to be able to attend naman po yung subject talaga ninyo. Diba? Again, who knows, baka next school year masama yun sa load ninyo. O kaya, gaya ng sinasabi namin ni Sir Franco kanina, interdisciplinary. So, may pakinabang pa rin sa bawat isang teacher ang expertise and knowledge ng teachers of other competencies. Tapos na po ba ang webinar nyo on creating authentic assessment? Ayan, wala pa rin, Sir Franco. Pero naririnig kita. Pwede mong ibulong sa akin kung anong sagot dito. Ayan. So kay Miss Lynette, tapos na po yung ating webinar on creating authentic assessment. But, ayan, available sa Sir Franco for team replay, di ba? Yes, available po yan. So mamaya, siguro mga 12:30 after our session this morning, pagkatapos ninyong mag-lunch, huwag po ninyo kalimutan mag-lunch ha. Bawal magkasakit, lalo na sa mga panahong ito. Pwede nyo pong panoorin yung Creating Authentic Assessment. Ayan. Saludo rin po sa inyo, Miss Merlene Tiburcio. Hindi rin naman po namin magagawa ito if not for your participation, if not for the things that you place in the evaluation. May I inquire how can I join the Zoom meeting? Ayan po. Itong bit.ly/retooling meetup, pwede niyo po yung i-type directly sa browser ninyo. Yan din po ay nasa KTS page natin. In fact, we also placed all the individual links of the speakers there just in case hindi gumana yung bit.ly sa inyo. So, yun po. Click nyo lang po. And kung kailangan nyo po, sabi ni Sir Franco kanina, kung kailangan niyo ng password or ng passcode, nandun lang po sa sa bit.ly. So, gaya ng sabi namin, when in doubt, just go back to the KTS page. Or kung may tanong kayo na kailangan masagot agad, punta lang po kayo dito. Ito po yung ating headquarters. Sasagutin po namin to the best of our ability ang inyong mga tanong. Excited to watch other videos pag okay na kami dito sa Bicol. Yes. And makakaasa po kayo lahat po ng mga, hindi lang yung Bicol region, pero lahat po ng mga kababayan natin na nasalanta ng Bagyong Rolly. Ito, may kasunod na kagad siya, si Shoni. Makakaasa po kayo na you are always in our prayers. Ayan. Zoom meeting po, ang links po nandun lang sa ating KTS page. Nope. Negative on that, Sir Franco. Hindi kita pa rin naririnig sa stream. Pero narinig kita sa bintana. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, sabi ni Miss Rachel, Miss or Sir Rachel, thank you so much Ma'am Nika Santos. So great. Makakarating po kay Miss Nika. Actually, pwede nyo rin po ipahatid sa kanya mismo. You just go to the session created by Miss Nika. May link po siya doon sa ating KTS page kung gusto nyo pong ma-meet si Miss Nika. Maraming salamat din po kay Miss Louverville. Ayan, very unique name. Thank you very much po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, wag po kayo mag-alala. Babalik si Sir Franco. Ayan, magagawa niya ng paraan yung kanyang audio. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. I have no count of how many people there are in this particular stream. Pero again, papaalala namin, may ongoing pa po tayo na Meet the Speakers session hanggang 12 noon po. How to join the Zoom meeting? Punta lang po kayo sa KTS page, sa Kaagapay Teacher Support page. Nakapost po doon yung lahat ng individual links. Yes, for Sir Franco, I hear you.
Check.
Yes, check, Sir Franco. We hear you. Or kung you can also just type directly in your browsers bit.ly/retooling meetup, nandun po yung lahat ng links to the Zoom meetings na ongoing po, kasalukuyang ongoing. Sinisilip ko lang po sa kanan ko yung Team Soksay and AP. Parang there are about 20 people in the Zoom meeting. So kung may mga Soksay, tsaka Araling Panlipunan teachers pa po na nandito, or anyone interested to join that particular meeting, punta lang po kayo sa Kaagapay Teacher Support page. Nandun po yung link. Hanapin niyo po yung Yes, Sir Franco.
Jambi.
Na-figure out mo na ang iyong
Actually, not me. It's my wife. Jinky figured this out.
See, tignan mo, kahit ang social science teacher ay may matututunan sa mathematics teacher.
Hindi tawag na collaboration.
Correct.
Yun. So sana po nag-enjoy sila ngayon. Ayun, Miss NZ, Faith Verdad, no? You can find it here. No? Ito yung master list po natin. When you go to that, it will bring you to a Google document. It has all the links, okay, for all the Zoom meetings. Or you can simply go to our Facebook page, click the link there per subject, and it will bring you to the Zoom meeting. Nandun na po sila, ongoing na ang discussion, etc. Medyo maingay na po yung mga Zoom meetings natin ngayon. So, Javi, kumusta dyan sa AP Soksay Zoom meeting nila ngayon?
Sinisilip. Parang nag-share ngayon yung partner mo, bro.
Magaling yan. Si Mr. Maramag. Okay, isa yan sa mga
At syempre
partner
magaling
ko
din po magaling din po si Miss Roda Santos.
Syempre naman. Syempre kailangan mo sabihin yan at mamaya wala ka sa...
Hindi ako maisama sa lunch.
Wala ka daw lunch. Pero to be honest. And by the way, ang alam ko, parehas taga PNU. PNU si...
Yes, PNU si Roda.
PNU din, si Mr. Maramag. Okay, so yes, tag team. Napakagaling po talaga yung mga, basta pag galing sa PNU, sobrang kalidad kasi yung, ang strong ng pedagogical training ng mga they're not, ito yung sabi natin Sir Jambi kanina. Okay? Kaya pagdating sa, siguro, in terms ng mga teachers, isa sa mga institutions, ang PNU, na nakatarget talaga sa 21st century teaching. Kasi, although may premium pa rin sa content ng ibang mga universities, kahit si PNU, ang isa sa pinaka talagang strong strength ni PNU ay yung pedagogy niya. Talagang doon niya binubugbog, tinitraining yung mga teachers niya, yung how to teach more than what to teach. Yun siguro yung strength. Sobrang na-appreciate. Kaya si Mr. Maramag, napakagaling niya sa pedagogy, no?
If I
Ang
had
galing
to do
mag-isip.
it over again, ayan, kung nung high school pa lang ako ay desidido na ako maging teacher,
Yes. Definitely,
baka
no?
nagkwento ako. Hindi lang ako
Yes,
nag-theater dahil hindi ko pa alam ang
totoo,
gagawin
yes.
ko.
Nung pumasok naman tayo ng UP, parehas tayo, medyo ano pa tayo di ba? Kasi lalo na nung Sir Jambi time natin sa UP, yung may ano pa may first 2 years of
Oo,
randomness. Di ba? Wala pa tayong mga majors in the
talaga.
first 2 years. Tama ba?
Oo,
Tama, di ba?
correct.
Parang
Yung mga
basically, yun
GE,
yung,
may mga GE subjects
yes,
ka pa
mga
sa
GE
first
muna
2 years.
natin. Yeah. Kaya ang idea talaga doon is that you have at least 2 years to figure out yourself and your direction. No? Hopefully, but after 2 years, you get to figure out where you're supposed to be. At doon, for example, ako, Sir Jambi, no? Ma-share ko lang. Second year na ako nung na-realize ko na gusto ko mag-education. Kasi 1 full year ako sa engineering. Okay, I entered UP as a metallurgical engineer student. So yun. And iyak-iyak ako sir sa sa mga math subjects ko. Talagang gapang. Ang math 14, Sir Jambi, tsaka math 11. Yeah.
Alam mo, nahihiyaman po akong i-share dahil sa course po na pinili ko. Kahit Math 11, wala.
Hindi ka na
Oo,
kasi kami
Math 1
required eh.
lang talaga.
Math 1 yun. Kasi sa amin, required kagad eh sa una. Parang isa yun sa mga early
Math
math
11 was
courses.
algebra, no?
Algebra. Tapos sa math 14, trigo. Tapos sa math 17, tama ba? Math 17 is a combination eh. Algebra, trigo combination eh. Yan yung mga sobrang nakakahilo na ng mga subjects. Anyway, so yun, no? So I hope that we are all, no? Medyo madami-dami pa rin tayo sa, sa ano natin. Sir Jambi, I'll take this opportunity na rin, no? Although, ulitin ko rin naman to mamaya, pero
Go.
siguro mag-quick run lang ako ulit ng mga sessions, ng activities natin for November. Okay? And I think no, meron tayong special segment after this. Okay? Abangan ba natin yan sa Jambi? Para sa ating
Ano
medyo madami tayong
nag-uusapan natin?
ano muna, update muna ako for November. Tapos
Update.
I think yung inaabangan ng mga teachers natin from Sir Jambi. As usual.
Yung pag-awit ni Sir Franco.
Yeah. Wag na po. Yes, Sir Jambi, una-una, yung ating continuation, yung second part ng Canva. By the way, we had a really good run last Thursday with Canva for education team ng Philippines. Okay? Pero yung last session natin, Sir Jambi, was on Canva 101 tsaka design principles. Sobrang dami ko natutunan, Sir Jambi. So ngayon, pag gagawa ako ng mga publication materials natin sa KTS, medyo meron na akong sinusundan na principles na napakaganda ng mga principles na shinare last time. Pero ito, Sir Jambi, itong part 2 natin, on November 19, will specifically delve on the Canva for Education package ng Canva. So ito na yung mga templates on our presentations, templates on assessments, templates on portfolios, etc. Okay, so paano gagamitin si Canva for that? So very very specific, targeted na yung education, so for teachers. Okay? And of course, we also have ito nalipat lang Sir Jambi, no, kasi the availability of our speaker demanded that we transfer this. Okay, by the way, our teachers will be surprised, no, who will be the speaker for this one. Okay, so a
Ayun
big
pala
name
yung
from
tanong, Sir
yeah,
Franco. Yan pala yung tanong ni Miss Lynette kanina.
yes, ano
Itong
to?
creating authentic assessment. Ayan. So, meron pa
Ito ba
po.
yes, kasi originally ito yung naka-schedule today.
Okay.
Tama si Miss Lynette. Thank you, Miss Lynette. No? Maraming salamat for that question. So tama si Miss Lynette. Ito kasi naka-schedule. Kaya lang, dahil we had to accommodate yung ating October series na na-move. So na-push back yung mga schedules natin. Okay? And then, upon looking at the schedule of our speaker, no, na-push back ito sa December 5. Pero Sir Jambi, promise ko, hindi sila magsisisi sa speaker natin for this one sa PBL. Kasi kung
Ito
meron
ba
tayong
'to, yung
pinag-uusapan,
naririnig ko kanina?
yes, Sir Jamie. Kung meron tayong authority to talk about project-based learning framework sa Pilipinas, Sir Jamie, hindi ako nag ano lang sa like sa school, no, pero sa Pilipinas, siya na 'yon. Ito na 'yon. Siya
Totoo.
na yung may
Alam mo Sir
capacity.
Franco, 'pag sinabing PBL, I actually only know 2 people na maituturing na authority at yung isa, yun.
Yun. Tama,
Yun
Sir
yun.
Jamie. Siya yun. At alam mo, Sir Jamie, yung it is such a very assuring experience kasi despite na nangyayari sa atin, napakadami pa rin mga tao na tulad niya, no, na expert in the field, ang taas na ng narating, but still, no, very much willing to share, no, yung expertise niya sa mga teachers natin, no. Normally, ano, Sir Jamie, to, no, normally, hindi ko sabihin, no, pero siyempre yung 'pag ganito nakataas yung expertise mo, yung in terms of like, yung mga professional fees, 'no. Pero again, accommodated us, enthusiastically, okay?
Eto ba
So
Sir
Sir Jamie,
Franco
after
yung
that,
wait,
yes.
yun ba yung ano, is that what prompted your ano, Facebook story
Yes, Facebook post.
kagabi
Although
na
napagalitan ako dun kasi mali daw yung ano ko, yung kulang yung predicate ko daw dun. Mukha daw hindi ako nag-ask pero nakakuha ako ng yes. So, 'di ba tama, 'no? Sabi ko nga, sige na nga, sabi ko nga, eh. Eh, siyempre dahil Facebook story, hindi mo na puwedeng i-edit 'yun. So, sabi ko,
oo,
magla-lapse naman 'yun in 24 hours, so
24
hayaan
hours.
na natin. Anyway, Sir Jambi, going back, that's the reason why we have to collaborate with other subjects. So kahit Socsci teacher po, kailangan po natututo po ako sa mga English teachers and communication teachers natin. So, Sir Jambi, no, sa Thursday for our skills training, number 9 na to, Sir Jambi. Imagine that, number 9 na to sa ating
Wow.
skills training series. Na. So tuloy-tuloy na tong mga skills training natin. We'll be having Photoshop. So yung mga teachers natin who are looking, no, to advance their or at least introduce themselves into the use of Photoshop, lalo na for module making, cover designs, etc., instructional materials. Ito na po yung iniintay nyo on November 12, 5 p.m. Okay? Of course, yung matagal nang nire-request ng mga tao at
Discord.
iniintay, yes. May explore na po natin ang Discord, which is an sustainable alternative to Zoom and Google Meet. So, Jamie, hindi ko pa ito na-explore, no? Pero sinasabi nila talaga, sobrang significant yung baba ng data usage niya. Like, there was this viral post, no, by a science teacher from, I think, Pampanga, na nag-Discord class, video conferencing call sila using Discord. And for the entire 1 hour, like 60 MB for the entire duration of 1 hour.
Malaking bagay yun, malaking
Laking
bagay.
bagay. Lalo na for our students, no, for example, na naka-mobile phone, so kaya syempre limited yung data. Napaka-importanting ano nito, accessibility feature, tool, no, for all of us. So we'll be having a speaker for that. Who already used, no, Discord for online classes. Okay?
Alam mo Sir Franco kung ano yung pinaka natutuwa ako about Discord? Yung fact na yung paggamit niya for education ay nag-stem from gamers na
Correct,
gumagamit
yes.
ng Discord. So, di ba, kahit sa mga gamers, ang dami nating matututunan. Lalo na sa panahon ngayon ng online teaching. Sila yung dati pa nila pinag-aaralan yung platforms na yan at ngayon natututo tayo from them.
Totoo, Sir Jamie. And Sir Jamie, actually, meron ng mga researches, no, na nasulat about this, yung tinatawag na game design in education. So, talaga ina-explore na nila kasi I mean, it's so medyo nakaka ng curiosity, no, kasi if you think about it, how can a game, okay, motivate a student or a kid to stay for like 12 hours or sometimes 24 hours nga, Sir Jambi, eh.
Correct. Even adults, even
Yes,
adults.
correct, oo. So, yung level of engagement napakataas pag may mga games, no? So, pinag-aaralan na 'to ng madaming educators. Ano yung mga
Sir
principles
Franco,
ng game design?
parang kinakabahan na ako dyan sa tono mo,
Magkakaroon
Parang you're very excited. Baka magka-schedule na kagad.
Ay,
January,
ano natin, Sir Jambi,
game
alam niyo
design.
naman hindi tayo nagsi-schedule ng mga ganyang webinar unless may mag-request po, no. So, pag may nakita po akong comment sa ating live chat on application of game design principles, sure na po yan, mag-schedule na tayo agad. So, hintayin pa natin, no. Pag wala po, hindi na po tayo mag-schedule
So
kasi
Franco,
yun yung
sabi ni Sir Juan Villarin, hindi po ako maka-join sa Google Meet or Zoom open forum.
connection problem, yes. Sir, ano lang, refresh lang natin. So, leave the meeting, tapos siguro close the applications, and then enter the link again. Okay? So, sometimes ano lang, kailangan lang nilang makapasok sa stable connection ng Sir Jambi.
Yan. Tapos, mabilis na mabilis lang, Sir Franco, meron ditong request si Bam Smith. Well, hindi man kami directly yung makakatulong sa iyo, pero ayan, mga kaagapay natin, baka may maitutulong kayo kay Bam Smith. Yan, hanapin nyo na lang yung comment niya sa ating comment section and I'm sure
Yes,
makakahanap ka ng tutulong sa iyo.
Pero Sir Jambi, no, ano na rin to, naka-line up na to na webinar natin. Pero this will be on
Yun,
January pa. Yes, magkakaroon tayo ng
bilis
webinar
bilis
on
naman.
research.
Research, yan.
Yes, oo. Kasi matagal na rin ni-request ng mga teachers. Kasi syempre, while it's not directly going to, not directly, pero it will impact education. Pero part din ng professional growth ng mga teachers natin, lalo din mga nagmamasteral, nagpa-pursue ng graduate studies nila, napakahalaga din na matulungan sila on how to conduct research. And Sir Jambi, no, yung popularity ng growing popularity, yung tinatawag natin na action research, napakahalaga din yan doon to pivot curriculums, instructions, etc. Okay, so Sir Jambi, moving on, no, sa November 21, meron tayong design thinking session. Okay. So, ito naman yung isa sa mga 21st century learning frameworks, no. So, titingnan din natin 'yan. And we also have the use of After Effects, okay, yung video editing
Uy,
teachers
After
edition.
Effects.
Yes, pero Sir Jambi, no, baka ang mangyari dito is not fully After Effects lang, okay? Baka mag-introduce na rin tayo, no, kasi marami na rin nagre-request ng other video editing tools. So baka mag-include na rin tayo ng other video editing tools. Especially, Sir Jambi, I'm correct, si After Effects ay not free for all. Tama ba? Kailangan ng license yata dito.
Katulad lang din ng katulad ng Photoshop.
Ng Photoshop.
Katulad
Yes. So
Premiere.
I think we'll also try to provide you with alternatives na to video editing. Lalo na marami tayong teachers are now producing video lessons. Okay? And of course, yung last natin would be on communicating in distance learning. So yung exploring, no, yung paggamit ng Messenger, ng Google Chat, paano to ginagamit, anong mga klase ng activities yung pwede mong employ if this is the only communication device or platform that you are using. Okay? Yun gusto ko yung comment is ni Miss Bam Smith ba to? Ang galing ng conversations namin dito sa math meeting. Very engaging, detailed at informative.
Nakakatuwa na. Dalawa-dalawa yung
Grabe, no? Siguro naka-multiple device ngayon si Miss Bam Smith, no? Naka-meeting siya ngayon, tapos nanonood siya sa atin ngayon, no? I think that's also why we have a lot more people pa rin dito. Actually, hindi ko na in-expect na may tao kayo dito sa atin. Kasi sabi ko nga, punta na kayo sa mga meetings nyo kasi mas madami kayong mapupulot doon. So, hopefully yan, madaming So, actually, and also Sir Jambi, kaya that's why we put up the meeting. Kasi nga, sometimes, yung intimacy ng small group meetings brings out so much more discussion. Kasi compared to, for example, in a large meeting like this, lalo na tayong dalawa, medyo meron tayong monopoly ng konti dun sa discussion. Pero in a smaller group, monopolize talaga natin yung discussion.
Actually, pangarap ko nga na makita yung mga kaagapay natin. Kaya tuwang-tuwa ako every time may catch-up Mondays tapos may nakakasama sa atin.
Yes.
Oy, ito sila pala yung
by the way, Sir Jambi, speaking of which, no, nagpipicture lang ako ng mga sa live chat natin. Ang ganda kasi mga comment, gusto ko ipadala sa mga speakers natin mamaya. Kasi baka hindi nila mabalikan. Anyway, Sir Jambi, speaking of which, next Monday will be our next catch up Monday. Okay. Yes. Pronounce
Dapat
mo
may
kasi ng
sponsor tayo
maayos.
na
Hindi nila
ketchup.
nagigets yung bakit catch up Monday eh. Kailangan pronounce ng maayos, okay? may may proper pronunciation yan, okay?
Disclaimer lang po, si Sir Franco lang pa yung nakaisa.
Actually, teachers 'no, wala sila nagawa diyan kasi pinost ko na lang ngayon bigla.
Naka-post
Sabi ko
na.
nga kay Sir Jamby tsaka kay Sir Jello kasi, alam ni Sir Jamby na madalas, ang routine ko kasi 'pag nagtatrabaho ako sa KTS, madaling araw. So,
Totoo.
'yan alam ni Sir nung wife ko 'yan at tsaka ni Sir Jamby, mag-aano muna ako, magno-noodles, magke-K-drama for, 11 to 1 o'clock. At tsaka so yung official 'no, official work sa KTS begins at around 1:30 AM at 4 AM to 4 AM to 3 AM 'no. So, minsan 'pag may mga ideas ako na ano, go na kaagad. Tapos pino-post ko, sabi ko para hindi na makaalma si Sir Jamie tsaka si Sir Anjo. Kaya teachers 'no, napaka-supportive po nitong mga co-admins ko sa mga madami kong kalokohan, mga dami kong ideas sa KTS. So, grabe si
Wow,
Miss Ma'am
four.
Smith,
4 laptops.
unbelievable! Sana all sa'yo Jamie 'no, it's sana all.
Okay. Bro, 10 years ago pa ako nag-stop mag-teach.
Oh. Pero grabe 'no,
I'm
that's
teaching.
actually the
Yeah.
kind of ano, that's the kind of commitment that you, want Sir Jamie 'no, na kahit wala ka na sa teaching profession, yung sinasabi mo sir kanina, yung sinasabi mo kanina, yung mina-mention mo sa mga teachers natin yung intense intrinsic, motivation to learn 'no, yung kahit wala namang nagsasabi sa'yong matuto ka, kahit wala nagsasabi sa'yo na mag-aral ka or learn new things, okay? Ito yung klase ng behavior na gusto natin sa mga students natin, okay?
Correct.
Na magkaroon sila ng love for learning, 'yun. Kasi 'yun yung pinakaimportante 'no.
Kakatuwa naman yun. Ay, actually
Yes,
natuwa rin
grabe
ako, Sir
'no.
Frank. Yung sa most recent, tama ba? Most recent o baka may dinagdag ka na kanina na teacher of the week natin.
Come again, Sir Javi?
Yung ating teacher of the week.
Oo. Grabe, oo.
'Di ba? Ilang taon? 83? 83 nga ba?
83!
Wow!
Still teaching and Sir Jambi 'no, 'pag tiningnan mo siya, hindi mo makikita yung like yes, yung tiredness 'no, yung pagod, yung napaka-vibrant niya 'no. 'Pag nakita mo sir yung profile picture na ginamit natin, I think that's the
Oo.
most recent, eh.
Sana
Siyempre kasi
ma-meet natin si ma'am.
oo, kasi siyempre na-tag siya dun so medyo ini-stalk ko na rin si Miss ano 'no, si Miss Sally Alcazar 'no, tinignan ko yung Facebook profile niya at medyo recent yung picture niya. So pero nakikita mo at 83 very vibrant, at napakaganda nung disposition niya 'no, yung pag-embrace niya. I think Sir Jamie, that's one of the things that we can learn from Miss Sally, Alcazar 'no, yung embracing uncertainties. Kasi 83 ka na, definitely Sir Jamie ang tagal niya nagturo using traditional,
Oo naman.
strategies, tools, approaches. Pero yung ability 'no, yung willingness to unlearn Sir Jambi and to learn and relearn things is such a like, an inspiration. Kaya pero nakita mo Sir Jambi 'no, yung grabe yung, response ng community sa kanya tsaka ng kanyang community 'no. I think by now nasa 160 shares na yung kanyang, post natin sa page natin. So, actually siya na
Correct.
yung pinakamadami ngayon 'no. So, the
Sana po
appreciation.
sana po kung sino man yung nag-nominate kay ma'am o kaya baka si ma'am mismo ay nanonood na ating webinar. Ayan, magsabi lang po kayo. Gagawa natin ng paraan. Pangarap po namin na ma-meet kayo, makausap namin
Yes.
kayo on air.
Actually Sir Jambi 'no, not only to, Miss Sally Alcazar 'no, lahat ng mga teacher of the week natin 'no, kapag, you're in our webinar or we're live, sa Monday, sa Catch Up Monday 'no, we hope that we can see you.
Ketchup.
Yeah, Catch Up Monday. Please 'no, please do let us know para ma-invite namin kayo and you can like share more, maybe, say your piece 'no, to our community. Kasi Sir Jambi I think, um itong mga teacher of the week natin, no, sila yung full embodiment nung why we started the page in the first place, okay? To create a venue, no, to inspire others, okay? At itong mga tao na to, yun talagang nakaka-inspire in sa education, lalo na sa mga young educators natin, okay, na ito yung mga dapat nating tularan, okay? Na natin. Grabe si Miss Bambi, si Miss Bam, napaka-active niya sa
Nalilito na, bro. Ano to? Hindi niyo po nalalaman, pero sa panahon pong ito, may 3 akong iba-ibang tao na naririnig na may kanya-kanyang webinar at may kanya-kanyang meeting. Ayan, ganyan po sa bahay namin, all day, every day.
Yes, actually, no, itong bahay namin ay napaka active, dynamic. Sir Jambi,
Para na nga
ma-share lang
tayong
natin sa
co-working space.
totoo. Sir Jambi, ma-share na lang natin sa ating mga audience na we had this fear, no, coming into the school year kasi we started with a 5 Mbps PLDT
Yeah.
package. So, tama ba Sir Jambi, no? And yun yung pinakamataas, 5
Max
Mbps yung
yun.
pinakamataas natin. Yun yung max
Max
namin.
5
Yung usual po namin
Mbps.
actually yung regular namin nasa 0.80, point ganun lang.
Ganyan.
Pero
Ilan
yun,
tayo? 4 na
ilan tayo,
teacher,
Sir Jam?
tapos 4
Tatlong
na
student. 4 na student, tama, no?
4
4
na
na estudyante.
student.
But with
Tapos
God's
very
blessing,
active pa sa social media yung isa.
totoo. At tayo din, no, Sir Jambi, in time na yun, nag-start na rin tayo with KTS. Actually, yung few webinars natin, yung first webinar natin, first and second, were delivered using that 5 Mbps max. You know, Sir Jambi, the experience, the, the level of stress. Actually, nung time na yun, no, na nakita din Sir Jambi, pag nasi-stress ako, nag-iiba na yung, yung mood ko, no. Pero yun, but we're blessed, no, yun, we're blessed. So, maraming salamat for that. Yun, ito kay Miss Bam, no, meron siyang sinishare. Meron siyang free tutorial daw on calculus for engineering students, former students ko.
Nako, tandaan niyo po,
Okay.
once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yes, hindi natin
Hindi
maalis
niyo
yan,
po
Sir Jambi.
malalayuan yan kahit
Yes,
anong
totoo.
mangyari.
Feeling ko nga, Sir Jambi, no, at one point, kapag nag-retire tayo, hanapin mo pa din eh, yung gulo, maybe ng
Ang mangyayari,
classroom.
you'll just have more time for kaagapay. Di ba?
Yes. By the time, no, yung ano na tayo, white hair na tayo, tapos nagde-deliver pa rin tayo ng online classes, online webinars. Pero, Sir Jambi, ang target ng KTS ay face-to-face soon, no? Face-to-face trainings, no? Hopefully.
Safe na syempre.
Yes. Okay. So yun, teachers, no, again, we hope na you proceed now. No, we have at least 121 people here in our live now. But again,
21 ba?
we
Wala
invite
akong,
you.
wala akong number.
Oh, pero Sir Jambi, patapos na. We're already 10 minutes away, no, to max out the
Batang-bata pa pala eh.
yes.
40 plus.
Naku, batang-bata pa si Miss Bam, no. And madami pang pwedeng gawin. So, yan, Miss Bam. Baka next time pwede nating invite si Miss Bam dito to join us sa live
Baka gusto
session.
mo maging active sa kaagapay.
Ay,
Sabihin nyo lang.
opo. Actually, yan, Sir Jambi, no, isa pa yan sa mga kailangang i-look forward ng community natin. We'll be opening positions now for KTS. Kasi nga, well, number one, hindi naman tayo gender stereotyping, no? Pero yung community natin also is asking for a little bit more balance in terms of composition ng admins kasi they realize na 3 males tayo eh.
3 lalaki, 3 connected sa private institutions. Yan. Kailangan po talaga namin ng ng diversity. So, soon enough, mag-open po si Sir Franco ng ng
Application,
call
yes.
or ayan. Tama ba, Sir Franco, yung sinagot ko sa sa GC?
Yes.
Tama, okay.
I'm just sending them the link as well, no. Para our participants will be brought back na to this main session, so we could give the final reminders. Sir Jambi, while we're waiting, would you like to
Wow.
finally indulge us? Yes. Siyempre, hindi ko po
Simpleng-simple lang
nakalimutan yun.
pagkakaano mo.
Yes. Magbibigay lang po ako ng reminders. Okay, so, lalabas muna po ako.
Ayan. Sige po, nabully na rin lang po tayo ni Sir Franco. Nabully talaga. Pero wag po kayo mag-alala. I enjoy singing, I enjoy performing. Lalong-lalo na po para sa mga kaagapay natin. This morning, I thanked yung mga kaagapay po natin na nakasama ko last Friday who were able to watch yung Survival Mode, the benefit concert that I was a part of. Again, we'll have another one in December. Yung mga hindi po nakapanood, sana makasama namin. Tulad din po pala ng mga videos ng kaagapay, yung concert po na yun ay readily available pa rin. Pwede nyo pa rin siyang panoorin. And I'd like to share with you one song that I sang in that concert. Ayan, para po sa inyong lahat. I would like to especially dedicate this sa mga kaagapay po natin na salanta ng bagyo. Test check. Ayan, sana po naririnig nyo ako. Feedback lang po kayo agad pagka wala pala akong tunog. Ayan. Again, this song is for all of you. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place is much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for living. Make a little space, make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place. For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, nobody cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this place we cannot feel fear or dread. Stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing. To make a better world, to make a better world. Heal the world, make it a better place. For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. In the dream we were conceiving will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. then why do we keep stranding life with this earth crucifying so? Though it's plain to see this world is heavenly, be God's goal. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Ayan, para po sa inyong lahat yan. Mga dear kaagapay. Ayan, sabi, yes, Lord, heal the world. Tama po yan. On our part naman po, ako bilang guro, one way na nakikita kong pwede kong magawa to heal the world is to just be the best teacher that I can be. Diba? Para maturuan natin yung mga estudyante natin who will be able to multiply the things that we can do para sila mismo, they can do their part to heal the world. Yeah.
So indeed, no, I agree. We have to heal the world, lalo na ngayon sa situation natin ngayon. Pero like ko rin, syempre, reminders sa mga teachers natin na for us to be able to heal the world, let's always make sure that we heal ourselves first, and we keep on also taking care of ourselves. Okay? Kasi we can't give unless we can't give what we don't have. Okay, so yun. So maraming salamat Sir Jambi, no. Sa teachers, no, yan yung klase ng pagmamahal ng KTS. Lahat na po, no, tumambling, kumanta.
Uy, palagi
sumayaw.
kong sinasabi yan, hindi ka pa rin tumatumbling. Para
Nakitumbling na ako sa figuratively tumambling.
Gusto ko yung
Nagka-practice na ako ng sayo ko, Sir Jambi. Nalapit ko na matapos yung choreography ng sayaw.
Parang alam ko na yung sasayawin naman na yan.
Hinihintay lang ni Sir Jambi kasi promise ko, no, pag umabot na tayo ng 60,000, although malapit na, makapalaban ako dito kasi 900 na lang. Ay, 800 na lang pala, no. Pag nag-60K na ang ating Facebook page, we're reaching another milestone for KTS, Sir Jambi, no. It's been 5 months, okay? Tama ba, Sir Jambi?
Ayan, bro.
July.
Gusto ko lang share. Meron ng comment si Michelle Carlos.
Miss
Ayan,
Michelle, hanapin natin.
Sabi niya, thank you so much for those who attended the TLE/ICT Zoom meeting. Kaya po natin to. God bless.
Yes.
Ayan.
Si ano to, si Michelle yo. Tama, yan. Maraming salamat po ulit, no, for sharing. And again, teachers, na Sir Jambi, I think the appreciation is that itong mga teachers na in-invite natin, sobrang busy nitong mga to. As in, like for example, si Miss Michelle ngayon, nag-MA to ngayon. Okay? As in, sobrang tight ng schedule niya.
Gabi-gabi ko nakikita yung mga post niya na madaling araw na siyang tulog. Sobrang maraming salamat. And tapos uma-attend ka pa ng tama ba? She's part daw of batch 2.
Oh, yes. Oo. In-invite. Personal invitation niya, Sir Jan.
Hirap pa naman maging teacher ni Sir Franco.
Grabe. Although, Sir, dami ng, yung mga batch 2 dyan, gawin ng assignment.
Gusto sumali sa batch 3. Ayan. Sasama po ako sa batch 3.
Yes. So, welcome po natin sa batch 3 si Sir Jambi. No? Actually, pati si Jinky.
Yes, may certificate po. Miss Faith.
Yes, may certificate po. Yes. I will be showing
evaluation. To get the certificate, malalaman niyo po mamaya.
Yes, we'll be giving some reminders later. Okay? So, yun, siguro Sir Jambi, no, ang ating reminders to our, first of all, Sir Jambi, gusto natin magpasalamat sa lahat ng speakers natin for today. We have a total of 11 speakers for today. Total of 11 speakers for today. We actually also don't know how we were able to put this together, pero in God's grace, no, and blessing, we were able to push through with this webinar, and finally nagawa natin. Okay, and hopefully Sir Jambi, no, that our teachers were able to really benefit, no, from this webinar for today. So, Jambi, any final message or anything to say bago po tayo magpakita ng bago natin ipakita ang ating evaluation link? Or baka meron pa silang mga questions na kailangan nating isagutin. Pero so far, puro thank you. Okay? Yes.
Oo. Natutuwa talaga ako dun sa mga comments nila para sa ating mga speakers.
Yes,
Ayan.
totoo. Panay nga ang screenshot, panay nga ang picture ko sa Jambi para ma-send ko sa mga pinapadala ko sa mga speaker natin.
Ayan. Tulad na lang po ng bawat isa sa atin ay every once in a while nangangailangan tayo ng inspiration, 'di ba? We often question, nakakapagod na, why do we keep on doing this? Yung mga very heartwarming comments po ninyo para sa ating mga speakers na we will make sure makakarating sa kanila. It will help to keep them going po.
Yes, ito Sir Jambi, no. Just like lagi sinasabi Sir Jambi, no, well, two things kay na lagi ko sinasabi sa mga teachers that our services are for free. You don't pay anything, okay? And minsan may mga nakita rin ako na messages, no, on bakit natin to tama Sir Jambi, no, yung question on why do we keep on doing this? Why do we pursue, no? Giving our time, no? We don't get to be paid here. Wala kami nakukuhang mga remunerations or anything. Pero teachers, sana po ma-realize nyo na napakalaki nung satisfaction, nung happiness na nadadalan to sa amin dalawa ni Sir Jambi. To be able to give back, no? Because kami naman ni Sir Jambi, hindi naman kami ultra rich, no? Hindi naman kami like mga millionaires. Pero
Mega
diba?
rich lang.
Yung mga asawa po namin, yung mga mayaman. Pero hindi, but what Sir Javi, what I'm saying is that while we do not have the riches, no, or okay naman tayo. Okay, we're doing well. Okay, we get to have things that we want. So it's really a form of giving back. So gusto po namin talagang mag-give back. Plus yung idea of showing appreciation to the teachers, kasi yung Sir Jambi, na nakita ko yung video kanina ni Sir Exxon, it captures a deep message, no, na we never really applause for the teachers. We never really like lit candles for teachers. Pero ito yung form po namin of our appreciation to all teachers. So sana po lagi niyo nararamdaman sa lahat ng leather mats na pinadala namin, sa lahat ng mga webinars na ginagawa namin, sa lahat ng mga kantang kinakanta ni Sir Jambi, at sa lahat pa ng mga posts namin, materials, instructional materials na all free for use, no? Wag po kayo tatanggap ng bayad, no? May narinig na po ako nagtumatanggap ng bayad sa mga materials namin tsaka webinars. Please don't do accept it. It's all for free, no?
When in doubt, tanong na lang po muna kayo sa
Yes, tanong lang kayo sa amin. Okay, pero at bottom line ng Sir Jambi, yung mga materials natin, yung mga quick references natin are never sold. It's always for free for teachers to use for their classes or for distance learning. So yun po. So maraming salamat. So si Jambi, no, since wala naman tayong masyadong
share, mabilis lang. Saka po, ito, hindi ko to ikakaila sa inyo. One of the reasons why we do this, and I'd like to think na one of the reasons why you also keep on attending our webinars, napakalaking bagay po nito para sa mental health. Naging na po ito namin ni Sir Franco, naging outlet na po namin ito. Siguro very very different yung takbo ng mga utak namin kung walang kaagapay. So kung nararamdaman niyo po na nakakatulong kami sa inyo, trust me, kayo rin po nakakatulong kayo sa amin. Ayan, lalo na si Sir Franco, very very motivated, very very inspired because of all of you.
Correct, Sir Jambi. Actually, more than, kaya lagi sila nagpapasalamat, pero actually, ako yung nagpapasalamat sa kanila for giving us this much purpose, no? We were basically naman normal teachers, regular teachers before. We're doing our job. Pero itong KTS, kayo po gave us so much more meaning. And we'll continue to honor you teachers, no. Sir Jambi, pansinin mo naman yung comment ni Sir Louis Gorada, no, kasi very important po na comment 'yan na we have to take note of that. Okay? Na-screenshot ko na rin po 'yan.
Louis
Very
Corrada,
very
sana po wag maisip ni Sir Frankong kumanta. Okay, okay.
Anyway, yun. Sir, ayun, maraming salamat po ulit, teachers. We'll now be
Malay mo
sending you
very
your...
appreciative naman sila, Sir Franco. Try mo nga minsan, kanta ka.
Ano nako, wag naman. Yeah,
Ah,
anyway, Sir Jambi,
very, very important question. Ito, pwede bang magamit ang certificate ng KTS pang renew ng PRC?
Sir Jambi, right now, no, hindi pa, no? So, pero the way it's going to work now, it's really for self-directive. So, kapag na-apply niyo po yan for self-directive, it will be equivalent to 1 point. Okay? So,
Sa
actually,
ganun
Sir
nila,
Jambi,
nila
yes.
gagamit,
So, actually,
ano?
yes. So, Sir Jambi, no, actually, kung umattend ka ng mga webinars natin for 1 month, medyo easy lang yung 15 points ni PRC. Mako-collect mo yun dito. Pero kailangan mo siyang i-apply and it has to be approved, no? By PRC. Pero hindi naman sila...
Ano, bigyan nyo kami ng feedback kung halimbawang may extrang hanapin sa inyo
Yes.
yung PRC para maidagdag natin. For now,
Mm-mm.
definitely yung CPD points hindi pa. We're
Yes.
working on that. Pero kung dun sa self-directed learning, kung halimbawa, dapat may ganito, sabihan niyo lang po kami para maisama natin yan.
Correct, yun. Maraming salamat. So, Sir Jambi, I think it's time for our participants to do the evaluation. And just a reminder, teachers, no, when you do the evaluation, please take note of your information. We use that to generate and distribute your certificates. Number 1, your name. Second, your email addresses. Kasi kapag mali po yung email address nyo, it will bounce back to us. Okay, so that's the only way you will not receive your certificate. No? Wala pong assessment for today, because it's a varied webinar. Okay, so it's not on a particular
Walang
topic.
quiz.
So, yeah, walang quiz ngayon kasi it's just an evaluation. And also, Sir Jambi, no, nag-iba tayo ng evaluation format. It's a more comprehensive so that we could get more data, because this is a new format that we tried today, and we would like to get the insights of our audience for today to help us improve, so that we next time, no, we can further we can do another one like this, hopefully in the near future. Okay, lalo na kung mag face-to-face training na po tayo. Okay, so let me just get to my evaluation link, teachers. Okay, so Jambi, yeah. So we now bid goodbye to you, teachers. Happy lunch and happy weekend. Maraming salamat po ulit for being with us here today at KTS webinar.
Thank you po.